So, what to make of this episode? Let's try to do some of the bad stuff. There is a lot of bad stuff, and I'll deal with that near the end, but let's deal with the okay bad stuff, and then we'll get to the good stuff, and then we'll try to calculate where we are. So, the okay bad stuff. Well, Maeve just fighting Hale was kind of disappointing. You really thought, like, okay, she's the super weapon, what is she going to do? And they just have a small brawl, and that was it. Simple fist fight, which was well done, but it's like, oh, that was it. I mean, it would have been bad if she could just wave her hand and just stop everything. I thought that's where they were going. Like she has super god power, but it's like, no, no, no. She's just gonna fight Hale. I mean, they could have just gotten a drone, hacked the drone. Maybe they could have just constructed an android to fight Hale. Why not do that? I don't know. I guess Maeve had to be the one. Of course, where Frankie gets shot, that was also kind of silly and weak. I mean, you think to yourself, they didn't put on bulletproof vests because? I don't know. I mean, it's not as bad as the Jedi in Star Wars where they don't wear any armor. They just come in with robes and they're like, oh, I'm shocked somebody hurt me with a lightsaber. Why not just wear a little bit of armor, maybe for the chest? So that was a little annoying, and the way she was limping was really laughable. Some of the stunt work was a little subpar, and some of the payoffs were that was it, because Frankie's like, oh, Caleb, what have they done to you? You look the same. Well, they have advanced androids. They do mind control. Maybe they can preserve a body for decades. That's a possibility. So it is a weird thing with the world building with Westworld. They do such a good job with so many details, but they have these massive areas where it's like, that's not a problem. You don't even have to address it. It's not really a problem, but what did they do to you? Who are you? Are you really my daddy? Maybe they just preserve the body. That's it. What's the problem? I don't even see the plot hole problem. That was a little silly and funny. So a lot of hiccups in terms of the payoffs and the setups. But strong stuff has been strong with the Man in Black and the water equals life theme, how Hale's order clashes with free will, even the free will of the host. That part was pretty strong. It was kind of interesting to see William face off against William and the Man in Black sort of conversing with himself. It just seemed a little too, I don't know, X-Men, that he's going to become Apocalypse and just say, hey, I want survival of the fittest. Okay, well, I would say it's been better than Apocalypse in the movies, definitely. It's even a little bit better than Apocalypse in the comics, because for a few stories he's very formidable, but in other stories he's just downright stupid. I mean, it's good that they didn't just do the Matrix again, so pulling from X-Men was interesting, but it does fit the character. He wants everything to burn, but I don't know. I would have wanted more, like him wanting his own order, him wanting to construct something with Clementine. But again, we have to judge the story that they're doing, not the story I want. I don't know. I thought they were going to go a more interesting route, that two orders clashing with one another. Bernard, Caleb, kind of weak. It didn't really pay off, I think, in the way they expected it to. And then we have to deal with the Christina, where apparently she was bathing. Some people say she was trying to drown herself. I didn't read it that way, but then the whole scene is kind of bizarre. It's like, okay, she's in water. She's trapped in the water, and the water gave her an epiphany. And this epiphany is like, yes, I can stop this. And then at the end, like, no, you can't stop this. I mean, it makes sense that the tower was destroyed, so her power is not God power, but then Teddy ends with that super mindfuck that, oh, you don't exist. And I actually theorized this earlier, that is she like a ghost or something? Is she like a spirit? Is she really in the real world? Is she a simulation? And he's kind of confirming that, but what does that mean? She's physically interacted with other people. She's physically interacted with matter. If she is a ghost, she's a special kind of ghost. So we got Ghost God, Paradox, and Christina herself is stumped and saying, what does that mean? I don't know, maybe this will be explained, which gets us to the dam, because everything converges with the dam. We're going to have Hale apparently go to the dam, face off the Man in Black. And the dam at least was set up, though what exactly does the dam do? It's like, oh, it's got valuable equipment and material. Okay, that's fine in terms of the plot, but I guess symbolically, what was the dam meant to do? It's just tying into the water thing? I mean, we know Bernard left something at the dam. I guess that's for either Christina or Hale, that they're going to shoot something, maybe not even William, because that thing would threaten everyone. And that's really what it's all been about. It's about the confrontation at the dam. So it's like, okay, I guess the best I can hypothesize is maybe Bernard did something to the code of Christina that somehow subverted the programming that Hale wanted for Christina. That's the best I could come up with because a lot hinges on Bernard telling the truth or lying or being a fallible narrator or unreliable narrator. But some stuff I'm okay with, like Stubbs is told you're gonna die, but we hope he's not gonna die, and Bernard is just lying, and Bernard manipulating Maeve. It's like it's not good, but it's like okay for the sake of the story, it makes sense. It's not character assassination. He's trying to save the world. Withholding information with Christina and other things are like what? Because really, it seems the Christina and Bernard stories are not linked at all. Okay, points for creativity. We thought they were going to be linked, but really, it's like okay. So this stuff is just randomly happening, and they're just going to converge with one another by pure accident. So a lot is going to hang on Bernard and the Dam, and that's where we are. And now looking ahead at least a little bit, I'm foreseeing really three possibilities. Either we're going to get like bad endgame MCU stuff where Thanos did something and all these movies and TV shows are about picking up the pieces from what Thanos did. And some stuff in the MCU I thought was pretty strong, like Loki, Hawkeye, and Multiverse of Madness. As a storytelling device, it's not giving you many options. So hopefully maybe post Endgame, good MCU, but it could also be just very post Endgame weak MCU. But then there's a third possibility because Ed Harris was in the Truman Show, and they've kind of played with the Truman Show a little bit throughout the season. Is they're going to do some genuinely incredible creative twist where it's like, okay, it is picking up the pieces. It is a picking up the pieces thing, but it's in a much more creative way than we could have ever anticipated. And maybe that will be Clementine, maybe it will be Maya, maybe it'll be Teddy, and that will get us to the next season. But I foresee it will be just William did a Thanos thing. We got to pick up the pieces. So it's not terrible, but I was hoping it would be a little bit more intriguing and creative. But for what it is, we've gotten fairly good three-fourths of a season. So hopefully it'll be ending with a much greater percentage at the end. But I'm fearful it will just be a great two-thirds and kind of a 1 week third with